Skip to the timestamp shown on screen to see the full completion. Back in 2024, after I beat Rat and Cat all challenges, I wanted to test myself with something even harder. I did some looking around on the max mode list and stumbled upon Suicide Mouse. However, I'm going to be referring to it as SM, as I don't think YouTube would want me going around saying that. Anyways, after some searching, I found SM, which around the time was placed at around number 10 on the max mode list if I had to guess. And for reference, whenever I beat Rat and Cat all challenges OG laser pointer, that was a top 15 max mode. However, at the time, all of the FNaTI but dumb guides, including Lufu's guide, Flarix's guide, and a couple others, hadn't existed yet. So I thought it was a good idea to just hop right into build up for SM. I hadn't even done any of the challenges, let alone Nightmare at Disney. That means I had to develop a strategy to beat this mode. And, well, it did not go very well at all. Like, I didn't even know how to do an office cycle. I was kind of just doing things.
No, dude, I made it 4 minutes in.
And after about a week of trying, unsurprisingly, I gave up. However, 2 weeks ago, my max mode passion sparked up again, and I reinstalled FNaTI but dumb, and after a short but painful grind of Silent Nightmare at Disney, I decided it was finally time to go for Suicide Mouse. If you told me from 2024 that I would ever be attempting SM, then I would think you're crazy. This mode has always been so unbelievably intimidating to me just because of how much harder it is than anything I've ever seen before. I've made a little graphic to demonstrate what I think the skill gap is between all of the modes that I've completed so far in FNaTI but dumb. So as you can tell here from my amazing drawing, we have the modes on the bottom that I've beaten so far as of editing this and the difficulty on the side. So up first we have Nightmare at Disney. This mode only tests your memory for CP&M and the ability to do an office cycle, and that's literally it. Not that bad at all. Next up we have Silent Nightmare at Disney. Now if you watched my Silent Nightmare at Disney video, you know this was very hard for me, but that's because a lot of the difficulty comes from the last hour and getting used to power as well as additional silent buffs that require a little bit of extra memorization and anticipation. Definitely a step up from Nightmare at Disney, but nowhere near SM yet. And spoiler alert, I actually beat this mode after I beat SM just to get it done, but this mode is Eternal Nightmare at Disney. Is the exact same thing as Silent Nightmare at Disney, however all of the characters' silent buffs are active during the whole entire night. Definitely harder than Silent Nightmare at Disney, but once again nowhere near SM. Last, but certainly not least, SM. Just look at how much higher it is on the difficulty chart than everything else. This mode is no joke. The amount of brain power you need for this mode and the sheer amount of awareness you would need to have for characters that you used to literally wipe the floor with in any Nightmare at Disney mode is unmatched. Just like my Silent Nightmare at Disney video, I've made a tier list to show and explain some of the characters that gave me the hardest times. Up first, starting in B tier again, we have the Face. Our dear friend the Face from Silent Nightmare at Disney, am I right?
Like, what? What is wrong with you? There's...
I hope you get lots of presents for Christmas.
Anyways, the Face is actually slightly easier because you can use him to stall basically all of the office characters except for Oswald by simply having him in your office and having the lights off. His new mechanic, which requires you to turn off camera 9 and the lights to make him leave, does take a little bit getting used to, especially with the addition of face stalling, but it is something that helps a lot in these harder runs for this game. But he isn't that bad, but he can still throw you off if you miss him or stall him for too long. Next up we have Impurity. The way Impurity works is that she moves from camera 3, 1, 2, 6, and then in your office, and then once she enters your office, you lose. The way Impurity works with no aggressive buff is that whenever her camera is shut off, it completely resets her move timer to 11 seconds, and whenever her camera turns on again, then her move timer will decrease from 11 seconds. Her aggressive buff makes it so that it's a timer and it needs to fill up. So however long you have her camera shut off for, that's how long it will take before she moves, with a cap of 11 seconds. She was easily in the top 3 for the hardest characters to get used to for this mode, and it was very easy to forget about her and let her camera be on for too long. And speaking of the next two, up next is Mortimer. Now the way Mortimer works is that whenever he appears in your office, he will start playing music. You need to search the cameras and listen when the music is the loudest, and then shut off that camera, and Mortimer will go away for some time. Now, Mortimer gives you a 24-second timer before he will kill you to start off his music, so I was never really dying to him in any Nightmare at Disney mode. Now, Mortimer's aggressive buff makes it so that he's always in the office. Mortimer has a 24-second kill timer, so you have some time before you need to reset him, but resetting him isn't too bad, but was extremely hard to get used to, and I still die to him on occasion. Now, next up in A tier, and the only A tier character, Hourglass. Hourglass went from being a literally free character in all Nightmare at Disney modes to the third hardest character in SM. Hourglass is a big test of memory and it's very hard to get used to searching for him. You need to be very aware of what camera he's in to attribute to an action that you need to do whenever he enters your office on your desk. Basically, Hourglass can appear in 5 different cameras. If he's in 3 or 4, shut off any camera to deal with him. If he's in 5 or 8, then stand still. And if he's in camera 9, turn off the lights. Hourglass's kill timer is long enough to where you can literally do all of these with no repercussions in a row until he goes away, making him one of the easiest characters in all Nightmare at Disney modes. However, his aggressive buff makes him so much harder. Basically, if he was in camera 3 or 4, shut off the camera that he was in to make him go away. If he was in camera 5, stand still on the left. If he was in camera 8, stand still on the right. And then if he was in cam 9, that's still the same, just turn off the lights. However, there's a very easy way to deal with aggressive Hourglass. The only cameras you need to check for Hourglass are 3, 4, and 8. And if he's not in any of those cameras, then you know he's either in 5 or 9. So if he's not in cameras 3, 4, or 8, all you need to do is stand still on the left with the lights off, and he'll go away. Also, because he takes so long to enter the office, sometimes it's very easy to forget where he was because of everything else you're dealing with. Hourglass was by far the hardest character to get used to, followed by Mortimer and Impurity. And last but certainly not least in S tier, we have our duo, the Mickeys. Classic photonegative Mickey, or CPNM, and photonegative Mickey, or PNM. If you watched my Silent Nightmare at Disney video, you'll know that I struggled enough with these two to put them in A tier. And now in SM, they are so much harder and easily the 2 hardest characters for SM. I died to these guys a lot. I'm gonna throw in a clip from my Silent Nightmare at Disney video to explain their normal mechanics. These two have very similar mechanics to where whichever camera you see them in, you need to shut off that camera whenever they enter your office to make them leave. The only difference being photonegative Mickey can only be in cameras 2 or 6, while CP&M can either appear in 3, 1, 2, or 6. So yeah, not that bad for their normal mechanics. However, their aggressive buffs easily make them the hardest 2 characters. First, I'll explain PNM. He works the exact same as his normal mechanic, however his aggressive buff makes it so that he's invisible whenever he enters your office. So you need to find where he is before he enters your office, and then listen for his sound cue. And remember if he was in camera 2 or 6 before entering your office. CP&M's aggressive mechanic works the exact same as his normal mechanic, however, he'll do an additional movement before entering your office, requiring you to wait until you hear a second sound cue from him, then check the 4 cameras that he can appear in, which are 3, 1, 2, and 6. Now that I had an understanding of how the characters worked, I could finally begin some attempts of the mode, and keep in mind I was fresh off a Silent Nightmare at Disney win and I would start my SM attempts that night, but I wasn't really expecting to get anywhere. However, this is how things went for the first session of attempts.
That was decent. It's pretty good. Dude, this mode is fun.
After 30 minutes of trying to get past the first couple office cycles, I had finally gotten my first decent SM attempt, being a 157 dying to Hourglass. I had honestly surprised myself here, but I was expecting it to take a day or 2 to get to at least 2 minutes. So this was honestly really good, but I went to sleep and got some rest, and did some more attempts the next day, and I was not ready at all for what would happen tomorrow.
What? What do you mean? Oh my god. What? Bro, it's my second day of playing. How am I going 348? No! CTF! Bro, this is actually like insane. How the frick did I just get 417 on us? Dude, that was such a stupid fail too. I think I was dead either way. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, I had just gotten 2 new personal bests in less than 24 hours of playtime. A 3:48 fluking 2 a.m. entirely, and a 4:17, nearly getting to 4 a.m. I had just gotten more than halfway twice in a new hardest max mode in less than 24 hours. And because I didn't have to worry about an extremely hard 5 a.m. like Silent Nightmare at Disney, I woke up extremely confident for the next day. At the start of my attempts for the day, I hit a little bit of a wall and didn't really get past 2 minutes. So I took a break and then came back that night and then had this run.
Yes, a new PB! I forgot where CPNM was, and then I got overwhelmed because everyone was getting desynced. Okay. Yes, let's go.
Given that this is only day 2 of my new hardest max mode, and I've already gotten 3 new PBs that are more than halfway, is astonishing to me, given the fact that I never thought I would be even attempting this mode 2 years ago. But as always, I got some rest and came back the next day.
What the frick happened there? How did everyone get desynced? Alright, bro. Yeah, this is not easy.
After getting the 423, I had hit a little bit of a wall and realized the vast majority of my deaths were to the 2 Mickeys. Figuring out a way to make them easier would be the key to beating this mode for me. The way that I would deal with them originally is just by pure reaction time, so whenever one of them entered the office, I would immediately deal, making it so that they got desynced as the night goes on, indirectly buffing them by giving myself less time to find and deal with them as the night progressed. This reactionary style to dealing with them made Mortimer, Impurity, and Hourglass a lot harder to deal with, among other characters. If I could find a way to somehow give myself the same amount of time to deal with both of the characters at once, then this would make this mode a whole lot easier for me. So I did some thinking and came up with this. Basically, on the first office cycle, they both enter at the exact same time, but because of how long PNM takes to leave, it desyncs them a little bit. So on the second office cycle, CPNM would always enter first, and what I would do originally was deal with CPNM right away, already putting myself in a bad spot for the rest of the night by desyncing CPNM from PNM by give or take 4 seconds. So my solution was by waiting until PNM entered and then immediately shutting off CPNM's camera, then shutting off PNM's camera, making sure he leaves by checking cam 3 when I could, and then rinse and repeat for the rest of the night. This will ensure that they always enter around the same time, give or take a couple seconds, and I will always have enough time to find and deal with them, as well as keeping Mortimer, Impurity, and Hourglass in check. If I could correctly implement this strategy into my gameplay, then this would be a big game changer. And boy, it was. Because I took a break, came back that night, and on my second attempt of the session, this happened.
No. Oh my gosh, how did I forget about Hourglass? What do you mean I just got 503? Holy crap. Oh my gosh. What the frick, dude? Oh my gosh. Holy crap. No face cam because I'm friggin' shirtless as how's balls, but I was getting like kind of nervous. I can't believe I forgot about Hourglass. That was so stupid. Oh my gosh. 503. Let's freaking go, bro. Holy crap.
Honestly, I was at a complete loss for words on how fast I was progressing on my new hardest max mode. I was only on day 2, and I had already gotten 503 on a new hardest max when Rat and Cat All challenges took me 3 weeks just to get to 5 a.m. Literally all it was for me is figuring out how to keep the Mickey synced and face selling when I can. The 503 would be my last attempt for the night, and I would come back tomorrow morning and fluke my new hardest max mode from 503, and finally have a new hardest max mode. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mouse, my new hardest max mode.
What? Oh my gosh! I beat the house! Oh my gosh! That was my first attempt of the day! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What? What? I got so lucky with this. I fluked from 503. Oh my gosh. I'm shaking so much. My hands are all tingly, bro. I'm not even joking. I just beat it.
Hardest?
New hardest by, like, I don't even know. I got so lucky with this. Holy frick. That only took me 4 hours of playtime after SNAD. Dude. I cannot believe it! I actually never thought I was gonna beat this. This is my first attempt of the day, by the way.
Actually?
Yes, I literally just got on and beat it. Bro, my hands are all tingly and shaky, bro. Dude, I freaking knew it. I literally told you. All I need to do is figure out how to sync the Mickeys. Dude, holy frick. I was holding my nerves so good. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm at 503. I'm at a new PB. I'm like, okay, let's flip a go. I kept the Mickey synced, bro. I'm like, holy frick.
At least your completion wasn't forgetting where Hourglass was at like 4 a.m.
No, Hourglass is like not that bad. I got the hang of him pretty fast. I beat Suicide Mouse in 4 hours of playtime. Well, not like 4 total, but like playing the mode itself, but not this whole game. DPing them, he was close to getting desynced. I figured out the timing of how long to wait until shutting off CP&M's camera. Because then right when I would shut off his camera, CP&M would come in the room. I cannot believe it, bro.
I think you should go for silent. You would smash the park out of.
I don't know about that. Dude, if SNAT took me 15 hours of playtime-ish, who knows how long SSM's gonna take me, bro. But let's flip a go, bro. Holy frick, dude. New hardest max mode. I don't know. I gotta think about it. I'll think about it. Wait, it's okay, it's 6:17. Oh my gosh, if I beat this 10 days ago, I would have beaten Suicide Mouse on 6-7, bro. I cannot believe I just beat Mouse. I literally never thought I was gonna beat that. I literally never thought I was gonna beat that. I don't know if I do SSM, but let's flip a go, dude. Let's flip a go.
So there it is. The journey to beat my new hardest max mode and getting a ridiculous fluke from 503, also only beating it in 3 days, is mind-blowing to me. Little update on SSM. I am trying to beat it. I did get a couple good runs, and I did get an insane, absurd fluke on day 1, the night that I beat SM, and I've only just now gotten 2 runs that are slightly worse as of editing this on July 9th. But SSM is no joke. It is quite literally one of the hardest things I have ever attempted. I'll keep trying, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. I put a lot of time into this, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's flip and get it, dude. Let's flip and go.